Let's take a moment to reflect on something profound. How do we know when God is pleased with us? It's not always a loud proclamation or a dazzling miracle. Often it's subtle, woven into the fabric of our lives in ways we might not always notice. Today, I want to share with you 8 signs that God is happy with you. When you feel a deep sense of peace, even amidst life's storms, it's a sign. That stillness in your soul, that calm that cannot be explained by the world, it's God's way of telling you He's near and He's pleased. Sometimes your heart is moved to help others, not because you're seeking recognition, but because you feel compelled to. That quiet nudge to be generous, to lift someone up, it's divine love working through you. It's a sign that God sees your heart and is delighted by it. Then there are the doors that open unexpectedly. Opportunities come when you least expect them, and solutions appear just when you need them most. These are not coincidences. They are signs of God's favor, little reminders that He's watching over you and guiding your path. If you found yourself more focused on gratitude than complaints, take that as a sign. When you can see the blessings in your life, even in the smallest things, it's because God's light is shining within you. A grateful heart is a joyful heart, and it pleases Him to see you embrace it. Strength in the face of weakness is another sign. There are times when you feel like you can't go on, yet somehow you do. That strength isn't just yours, it's a gift. It's God standing beside you, lifting you up, letting you know He's proud of your resilience. You may also notice a pull toward what's right, a deepening desire to do good, even when it's difficult. That's not just your conscience. That's God's voice within you, guiding you, shaping you into the person He knows you can be. Sometimes your prayers are met with quiet answers. They may not come in the way you expected, but they come. A moment of clarity, a sense of reassurance, or a quiet unfolding of what you've asked for. These are God's whispers, His way of saying, I'm here and I hear you. And finally, there are those moments where you simply feel His presence. It's hard to put into words, but you know it. It's a connection that transcends understanding, a warmth that wraps around your soul, a love that feels boundless. That, my friends, is God smiling upon you. These signs aren't about being perfect. They're about being present, being open, and being willing to walk the path with faith and trust. If you recognize these signs in your life, know this: God is happy with you, and His love for you is infinite. There are moments in life when the world seems to quiet itself, even if just for a fleeting second. The storms may still rage, the challenges may still stand tall, but within you, there is a calm, a peace that doesn't make sense by human understanding. It's not the kind of peace that comes from everything going your way or from a problem neatly solving itself. No, it's deeper than that. It's the kind of peace that settles into your soul, unshaken by the chaos outside. This peace is a gift, a whisper from the divine that says, I am with you. It's not loud or boastful, it's gentle, like a stream running quietly through a dense forest. When you feel it, you know it's not of this world. It's the assurance that no matter how uncertain the road ahead may seem, you are held. This peace isn't reserved for perfect days or flawless people. It shows up even when you feel unworthy, even when life feels heavy. That's the beauty of it. It's not earned, it's given. And when you feel it, it's God's way of saying He's pleased not with your perfection, but with your trust. So when you feel that calm, don't dismiss it as coincidence. Embrace it. Hold on to it. It's a sacred sign that you're walking in step with something far greater than yourself. There's a quiet beauty in the way a heart is moved to help another. It's not loud, it doesn't ask for applause, and it doesn't come with expectations. It's that subtle pull, a feeling you can't quite explain, that draws you to offer a hand, a kind word, or a small act of generosity. It's as though something within you whispers, this is where you're needed. That pull doesn't come from nowhere. It's a reflection of something divine within you, an echo of the Creator's love flowing through your actions. You may not realize it, but every time you step forward to ease someone's burden, you're doing something sacred. You're becoming an instrument of God's kindness. This isn't about grand gestures or life-changing deeds. Sometimes it's the smallest things: a smile, a listening ear, or a moment of patience that can make the biggest difference. And in those moments, God smiles. not because of the size of the action, but because of the love behind it. When you feel that natural instinct to help, don't ignore it. It's not just your own compassion, it's a sign that God is happy with you, using you to bring light to someone else's darkness. It's proof that you are living in alignment with something much greater than yourself. There are moments in life when the path ahead seems unclear, and the answers you seek feel just out of reach. But then, something shifts. An opportunity appears, a door opens, and suddenly the way forward begins to reveal itself. It doesn't always happen the way you expected or when you thought it should. Yet when it does, it feels almost as if the universe itself is aligning on your behalf. This isn't mere luck or chance. It's a reflection of something greater at work, a divine hand gently guiding you, even when you're not fully aware of it. When God is pleased with you, His favor often takes the form of these quiet blessings. You may not see them coming, but when they arrive, you know they're not by accident. Perhaps it's the job you weren't sure you'd get, the relationship that appeared just when you needed it, or the way a challenge resolved itself in a manner you couldn't have planned. These moments remind you that you are seen and that your steps are being ordered, even when the road feels uncertain. It's important to recognize these signs for what they are: gifts. They're not rewards for perfection, but reflections of a heart that's aligned with trust and faith. So when a door opens that you didn't expect, step through it with gratitude. Know that it's a sign of God's delight in you, a reminder that He's walking this journey with you every step of the way. Gratitude is a quiet but powerful force. It's not about ignoring the struggles or pretending everything is perfect. It's about seeing the beauty that exists even in the midst of imperfection. When your heart is filled with gratitude, something remarkable happens. Your perspective shifts, and suddenly the blessings in your life become clearer and more vivid. This isn't just a habit, it's a sign. When you find yourself focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, it's evidence that God's grace is working within you. A grateful heart doesn't dwell on what's missing or what went wrong. Instead, it sees the fingerprints of the divine in the small moments: the laughter of a loved one, the warmth of the sun on your face, the quiet strength that gets you through the day. Gratitude isn't loud or boastful. It's humble and steady, like a candle that continues to burn in the darkest of nights. And when God sees that light in you, it brings Him joy. He knows that you're choosing to trust in His goodness, even when life is challenging. If you've noticed that your complaints have softened and your thankfulness has grown, understand this: it's no accident. Gratitude is a sign of alignment, a reflection of a soul that recognizes the gifts it's been given. And when you embrace that gratitude, you're not just pleasing God, you're allowing His love to flow through you, transforming the way you see the world. There's a certain strength that emerges when you feel like you have nothing left to give. It's not the kind of strength that comes from sheer willpower or determination alone. No, this strength is different. It arrives quietly, like a steady hand resting on your shoulder when the weight of the world feels unbearable. When you're at your weakest, and yet somehow you find the courage to take one more step. That's not just your strength. That's a gift. It's the divine stepping in, filling the cracks in your spirit, and saying, you don't have to carry this alone. It's God reminding you that in your weakness, His power is made perfect. This kind of strength doesn't always feel triumphant. Sometimes it's messy, uncertain, and even painful. But the fact that you're still standing, still moving forward, that's the miracle. It's proof that you're not forgotten, that God is walking beside you, proud of the way you keep going, even when it feels impossible. When you look back on those moments where you thought you couldn't go on, but you did, know that it wasn't by accident. It was a sign that God sees your effort, values your endurance, and is pleased with the way you trust Him, even when the path is hard. So the next time you feel that quiet resilience rising within you, remember it's not just strength, it's love pouring into your life from a source far greater than your own. I thought for a couple of seconds. There comes a time in each of our lives when we feel an undeniable pull, a gentle yet persistent nudge guiding us toward what is right, even when the path is unclear or the journey is arduous. It's not always easy to recognize, and it doesn't come with a roadmap or a guarantee of success. Yet this inner compass, this desire to choose goodness over convenience, honesty over deceit, compassion over indifference, speaks volumes about the alignment of our lives with something greater. Imagine standing at a crossroads, the weight of decision pressing down on you. The easier path might promise immediate relief or personal gain, but deep within, there's a voice urging you to take the longer, more challenging route. It's in these moments of choice that the true measure of our character is revealed. Choosing what's right isn't about seeking recognition or accolades, it's about honoring a higher purpose, a deeper truth that resides within us. This pull toward goodness is more than just moral inclination. It's a reflection of a soul being shaped and molded by divine hands, being guided to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of ourselves. When you find yourself standing firm in your values, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular, it's a sign that your journey is being directed with intention and care. It's as if every act of integrity, every moment of kindness, and every stand for justice is a step taken in harmony with a grander design. Sometimes the right path is lonely. It might lead you away from the crowd, away from what's familiar and comfortable. But in those solitary moments, there's a profound sense of purpose and fulfillment that comes from knowing you're aligned with what truly matters. It's not about being perfect or never faltering, it's about the consistent effort to do what's right, to strive for goodness even when it's hard. This inner pull is a testament to the influence of a loving presence in our lives, a presence that delights in our efforts to live with integrity and grace. It's a quiet assurance that every right decision, every act of goodness, resonates with a higher joy. When you embrace this pull, when you allow it to guide your actions and shape your decisions, you're not just living a good life, you're living a life that pleases, that honors, and that aligns with divine happiness. So when you feel that deep-seated urge to choose what's right, to stand up for what's just, and to act with kindness and integrity, recognize it as a profound sign. It's not merely your conscience at work, it's a guiding force shaping your journey and reflecting a heart that is in tune with something far greater. Embrace it, follow it, and let it lead you to a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and the unmistakable assurance that you are pleasing to the divine. There's a quiet beauty in how prayers are answered. Sometimes we expect loud, undeniable signs, flashing lights, a booming voice, or a miraculous event to show us we've been heard. But more often than not, the answers come gently, like a whisper carried on the wind. They don't always arrive in the way we imagined, but they are there, subtle and profound, if only we take the time to notice. Picture yourself in prayer, your heart pouring out its hopes, fears, and desires. You might not hear a voice respond, but then days or even weeks later, clarity emerges where there was once confusion. A solution appears, not dramatically, but in a way that fits just perfectly. A sense of calm fills your soul when you needed it most. These moments are not accidents, they're answers. They're God's way of saying, I hear you, and I am with you. Sometimes the answer is patience. You may not see the results you wanted right away, and that can be hard. But even in the waiting, there's a lesson, a purpose. In those times, God isn't silent, He's working in the background, aligning things in ways you may not yet understand. The silence, too, is an answer, a call to trust in His timing and wisdom. And then there are the moments of undeniable reassurance. You might be wrestling with a decision, and suddenly the right choice becomes clear. You might feel lost, and someone's words or even a simple gesture brings comfort and direction. These are the quiet echoes of your prayers manifesting in the world around you. To recognize these answers, you have to listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. Pay attention to the little shifts, the unexpected moments of peace, the paths that open where none seemed to exist before. These are God's ways of reminding you that He hasn't forgotten you, that every word you speak to Him matters. When your prayers are met with quiet answers, it's a sign of a relationship rooted in trust and love. It shows that God sees your efforts, values your sincerity, and delights in being close to you. So don't always wait for the dramatic. Look for the gentle, the subtle, the small yet significant ways God shows He's listening. Because He is listening, always. And every quiet answer, no matter how small, is a reminder that you are not alone, and that your faith is a source of joy to the one who loves you more than you can imagine. There are moments in life that defy explanation. A stillness, a warmth, a profound sense that you are not alone, that something greater is with you. It's not loud or demanding. It doesn't announce itself with grandeur. It's quiet, like the first light of dawn breaking over the horizon. and yet it's powerful enough to touch your very soul. This feeling, this connection, is unlike anything else. It's not tied to a place or a time. It might come to you in the middle of a prayer or while walking alone beneath a starlit sky. It might arrive during a moment of joy or in the depths of your struggles. Wherever it comes, you know it instantly. It's the unmistakable presence of God. It's not something you can control or summon at will. It's a gift, a reminder of His love and His closeness. When you feel it, it's as if the world fades away, and for a moment it's just you and Him. It's not about what you've done or haven't done, it's about who you are to Him. You are His child, and He delights in being near you. This connection doesn't always come with answers or solutions. Sometimes it simply reminds you that you're seen, known, and loved beyond measure. It's an embrace without arms, a reassurance without words, and a peace that cannot be explained. It's the Creator whispering to your soul, "I am here, and I am pleased with you." When you feel this, don't dismiss it as a fleeting emotion. Lean into it. Let it fill your heart and remind you of what truly matters. It's a glimpse of the eternal, a moment where heaven touches earth, and you realize just how deeply you are cared for. This connection isn't reserved for the perfect or the saintly. It's for anyone who opens their heart, even just a little, to the possibility of divine love. It's a reflection of God's joy in you, a sign that your journey, your efforts, your very being are precious to Him. So cherish these moments when they come. Hold them close and let them guide you, for they are among the clearest signs that God is happy with you. They're His way of reminding you that you are never alone, that His presence is with you, and that His love is unending.